Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be looking at some more F1 rejects and where they are today. The background footage is some Formula Renault gameplay from iRacing, and I'm just getting used to it. This is my sort of first proper time driving this car, so of course any tips let me know. No setup on this, so it's completely standard and I'm just trying to learn my way. I know Brands Hatch pretty well, but just not the car and all that. So nonetheless, F1 Rejects, part number 7. So you guys really are enjoying this series, which I really appreciate. And the first person on my list is Pedro Lamy. So, like lots of people we mentioned in this series, he started in the junior category and found some success in the karting championships and the Formula 4 championships in Portugal. He was only 17 once he won that Formula 4 championship. He went on to race in Formula Opel, where he won at his second attempt in 1991, and then he went on to race in Formula 3 in 1992, winning some important races. And in 1993 he raced in Formula 3000 and finished second in the series, only 1 point behind the overall champion. Then, in 1993, in the final couple of races of the season, he got the opportunity to race in Formula 1 to replace the injured Alex Zanardi in the Lotus team. He didn't score any points for the team, but he did get the opportunity to race for them in 1994. He did drive a couple of the races before suffering his own crash in a private test at Silverstone. He broke both of his legs in that accident, and that put him out for the rest of the year. And in 1995 he went to Minardi, so a bit more of a less competitive team I should say, and he underwent some very intense therapy to try and get him back into the mode of a Formula 1 driver. And he signed this contract halfway through the 1995 season to get back into a car, and he did actually score the only point of the season in Adelaide. And unfortunately for him, it didn't really work out for him. He continued on in 1996, but the car and the team were really struggling, and the sort of whole team really had very little development, meaning he couldn't really pursue his career in Formula 1 any further with the team. And unfortunately for him, no more opportunities arose in Formula 1 and he moved elsewhere. Pedro Lamy went on to have massive success in the world of GT, sports car racing and endurance racing as well. He's finished on the podium and won the Le Mans 24 Hours on many occasions. He's finished on the podium in the LMP1 class, he's won a GT class, and he's finished on the podium in both of those on other occasions as well. In 1998 he also won all but 2 races in the FIA GT Championship in a Dodge Viper, finishing on 92 points, way ahead of the rest of the field. In 2000 and 2001 he also raced in the DTM Championship, and he's won the Le Mans Championship, the complete series, on 3 occasions as well, once in the LMP1 category for Peugeot in 2007, and since he's really been racing for Aston Martin in the LMGT AM class, so the sort of amateur class in the GT where there's a professional driver linked with an amateur. He won the championship last year in 2017 and is currently sitting second place in the 2018/19 season. So it's blatant that Pedro had a lot of talent, but unfortunately for him it didn't really work out in Formula 1. I think that was unfortunately due to that crash, which unfortunately put him out for quite a lot of time in Formula 1 over a season of his career, over his 4 seasons. One of that was on the sidelines being injured, so that's very, very sad for him. But the next person on our list is Markus Winkelhock. Now, you probably remember him if you remember a couple of years back, or just over 10 years back in Formula 1. He had an iconic moment, but we'll get to that in a minute. In the early parts of his career, he raced in the junior categories like most people on these lists. He progressed through karting, had some success in a championship called Formula Koenig, which I assume is a German championship, then progressing into Formula Renault, then Formula 3, and finished third place in the Formula Renault 3.5 championship in 2005. He went on to become the Midland reserve driver in 2006 and also did one off appearance in the Porsche Super Cup that year as well. And in 2007 he had his only opportunity of racing in Formula 1. He did a one-off race, the German Grand Prix 2007, and crazily he actually led that race. He did an amazing job, the right strategy from the whole team, which meant that on his one F1 appearance, Markus Winkelhock in a Spiker, the worst team on the grid, managed to secure, well, at least lead a race for a little bit. He didn't secure any points because he ended up retiring, but he led a race. He actually lapped Lewis Hamilton at one point in that race, which is an incredible story. Since then, he's went on to race in DTM. He didn't have much success there, but then he went on to race in the GT1 World Championship, winning that in 2012. And since, he's mostly stuck to the Blancpain Endurance and Sprint Series. He's had various success throughout. He won the International GT Challenge in 2017 in an Audi, finishing on 50 points, and he won the 2018 GT Sprint Series in the Pro-Am category, finishing on 134.5 points with 2 wins and 5 podiums. For me, Marcus Winkelhock will always be an iconic figure in Formula 1 because 2007 was the first year I watched Formula 1 every single race, every single qualifying session and practice session, and he was a guy that led a race, and I'll never forget that, especially being in a car that was the worst or the second worst on the grid. Was Spiker? Yes, sorry, not Spiker, was Super Agura. They were racing as well, so maybe they might have been the worst. But he was right at the back of the grid in terms of really his car performance, but he led the race, and that is iconic in itself. So Marcus Winkelhock, I don't know, would have seen maybe a bit better performances in like actually finishing a race would have been a start if he'd done more races, but unfortunately he was in a cash-strapped Spiker team which didn't last more than one season. They started in 2007 and left in the end of 2007. I think that all you need to know about Spiker is in that sentence right there. Kazuki Nakajima was thought to be the next big thing in Japan, who are looking for their fast F1 driver to come onto the scene and race for the Japanese manufacturer. That never happened, but he did manage to get to Formula 1. But let's go back to the start. He started in 2003 in the Formula Toyota Championship. He won that, winning 3 races. He progressed on to the All Japan F3 Championship, finishing 5th and 2nd in his 2 seasons accordingly. And then he jumped up to F3 Euro Series in 2006. He finished 7th overall in that with 1 win. And then he went on to be a test driver in Formula 1 in 2007. Actually did one-off appearance for the Williams team in that 2007 season. He didn't score any points on that occasion, but he did have a successful GP2 season where he managed to get 1 pole position, 21 races, and he got 5th place overall in the championship, scoring 44 points. That secured him a full season or 2 full seasons in Formula 1 thereafter with the Williams team. He finished 15th and 20th respectively. Didn't score any points in the latter season when Nico Rosberg got a podium in 2009. Kazuki Nakajima definitely seemed like he had a lot of talent and he was looking very promising to be the next big thing for Japan, but once he got to Formula 1 it didn't really work out. Ever since his departure from Formula 1, he has found success in multiple different series. He won the 2012 Formula Nippon Championship, won Super Formula in 2014, he finished 2nd in 2015 and finished 2nd place in the World Endurance Championship in 2017. And in 2018 he won the Le Mans 24 Hours and currently leads the World Endurance Championship with Fernando Alonso as a teammate. He has won 2 of the 5 races in the series so far and looks good to win the championship at the end or the middle of the 2019 year. Of course, thereafter, we did actually have a Japanese driver that looked like they were going to be the next big thing in Kamui Kobayashi, but unfortunately for him, a lack of funding didn't enable him to continue his career in Formula 1, which really sucked. But we're looking for the next Japanese superstar because we feel Formula 1 always seems to have a habit of bringing in really good Japanese drivers, but they never really fulfill their promise. So we're looking, hopefully, in the next couple of years, something hopefully will happen. Now, the last person on my list only did 1 Formula 1 race, but he still is, in a way, an F1 reject, and that is Andre Lotterer. So in 1999, he did a good job in finishing 1st in the Formula BMW Championship. The year before, he won the Junior Championship. Then he went on to have some good success in Formula 3 over the next coming years, and he was actually sort of a Jaguar Junior driver at the time as well. He finished 2nd place in the Masters of Formula 3 in 2001, and in 2002, he actually was the reserve driver for Jaguar, so it looked like it, likely at this stage he was probably going to be a Jaguar Formula 1 driver at some point. But unfortunately for him it didn't really happen over the coming years. He raced in Formula Nippon, he had great success in that, and Super GT as well. He won the championship on multiple different occasions in both of those, and then also looked to Le Mans as well with Audi, finding success there as well, winning Le Mans and the World Endurance Championship on multiple occasions. As of recent, he's turned his head towards Formula E and he's been racing with the Techeetah team. He was teammate of the eventual 2017-18 champion Jean-Eric Vergne, and unfortunately for Andre Lotterer in his rookie season, he couldn't quite match his teammate's potential, but he did do a good job, finishing 8th place overall in the championship, and he did a good job to amass 64 points over the season. He's also still racing in the World Endurance Championship before the less competitive Rebellion team, who don't really have a chance against their hybrid cousins cousins who are doing a much better job with their car or have a much quicker car in the Toyota. So unfortunately for Andre Lotterer, I think he's probably one of the best drivers to never get to Formula 1. And we might do a whole video on that in the future, drivers that should have been Formula 1 but they never got the opportunity. So maybe you can suggest other people like that in the comment section down below. So that is pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you found this interesting. 4 drivers who were only in Formula 1 for a relatively short amount of time. Who do you think out of these 4 drivers in this video was the best? Let me know in the comment section down below. Actually, weirdly, 2 of the drivers I mentioned here today only did one Formula 1 race, which, yeah, I don't know how that came across in one video, but that's kind of weird. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. It's just me, me getting a learning experience, really. I'm still getting used to iRacing again, especially, yeah, I've been doing sort of stock cars over the last couple of years. So, doing a few actually turns, but, left and right, takes a bit of time to learn. But I'm getting there, and I really enjoyed it, especially around my local track Brands Hatch in a car like the Formula Renault. I think once I put a setup on, that'll be a bit better. But anyway, I just want to ask your support once again. We got some donations over the last couple of days, so I really want to, just ask for your support once again. I'm going to play the trailer for my fundraising campaign for my university project. I want to get you guys hyped for this project because I'm so excited for it. So watch this, and if you feel like donating, please do so. The link will be in the description of the video. So thanks again, guys, for everyone that has donated, and we appreciate any future donations, even if it is just £1 or $1. That's massively appreciated. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, enjoy the trailer, and we'll see you all soon. Goodbye. My name is Alex Baldwin, and I want to know how hard it is to follow your dreams. Since I was a child, I've been a motorsport fan, and this is a passion that has led me all over the world to watch my idols race. But one thing still burns deep. The dream of becoming a race car driver myself. I have tried to accomplish this in the past, but it was to no avail. This documentary is about my journey as I prepare for my first ever motor race. It will let me evaluate my passion for the sport and what stopped me from doing this sooner. There will be many challenges that I will face before I compete for real. My fitness, money to race, and a racing license, to name a few. This is where your support can help. By pledging a small donation, you can help us document the experience of a lifetime. And this will ensure our 3rd year university documentary is a success. You can find the various options on our Kickstarter. Choose one that suits you. Your support is hugely appreciated. Thank you for helping, and see you soon.